But now it's like, okay, well, we have to find this time period from like 2023 forward where it's like, no, we need to avoid if we want to get real stuff.
Well, let's take it a step further, and it's just not AI, right? So I used 20 in our conversation before the show. I used 2015 versus 2025, plainly put. As we were on the show, I mentioned 2020. There is also a bit of 2020, 2021 that I took with a grain of salt because of the whole pandemic gardening.
Yeah.
I know there are some people that take offense to, oh, they started gardening in 2020. There's some negative connotation towards pandemic gardeners. Absolutely not. If it takes a pandemic to get you in the garden, then dang it. Okay,
Good.
not, don't bring another pandemic on. Uh, but it's the same idea of this mad dash to get content out. There is a boom when it comes to this genre, if you will. And so people were pumping stuff out. And I think that generally speaking, things have maybe leveled out, but it doesn't mean that overall companies aren't still trying to get their product out and using buzzwords. And now they're not even buzzwords that are absolutely original. Like they're not even doing the legwork of like searching other places
Yeah.
and stealing content from other, notable sources. Now they're out here like, go ahead. I want to talk about raised beds
Well,
and
and
fall.
the thing is it's nothing more than an advertisement. And when you look at it, it's so gross. It's
Mm,
so gross because there used to be a time when a company would really try to give you knowledge, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Pick any company. This is how you use our shovel, and this is
mm-hmm,
the best
mm-hmm.
way to do this and that, and it would always be something about like using your shovel to dig a hole for something, or I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a bad example, but it was like companies, they understood that like, hey, if we teach these people how to use our products, they're going to buy our products. And when you look at this, like these are overpriced garden beds, in my
Mm,
opinion, and that's only my opinion. It is not the opinion of the Backyard Gardens podcast or anybody else affiliated with it. That is my opinion. But when you read that, it's like, man, this is obviously not in the best interest of the customer. And it's always trying to make money. When in fact, if you are sincere and you try to help people, you will in fact make your money back. But
mm-hmm,
having a company use artificial intelligence, and the article cited by a name, but that doesn't even have to be a real person. I don't think
mm-hmm.
anybody that's real would write something like that and be like, this is going to be helpful. Let's put this on as the face of our company and go. And it just shows what you're dealing with, you know?
Well, I disagree. So, as just for housekeeping, some of y'all, if you've seen Be Better Garden, you know that I have two different types of metal beds, not the one offered by the company that produced this article. And I think, one of them was pretty expensive. And I was given the bed, as a offering, right? And I really struggle. I love it, but I really struggle with, could I have more than one of these beds? But that's a different conversation. Um, I would describe them as expensive. I'm not quite sure if we're at the stage where I would say overpriced. There is definitely overpriced compared to some wood. So there is that.
A three
I
by two
believe
bed is $230.
uh,
Is that overpriced for you?
for metal beds, how much is it
Let me double check. $230 for three and
for
a
what
half by
size?
two.
3.5 by 2. I can't believe that. Yeah, that's overpriced.
Yeah,
The beds that I have, that's not the price point, but they're still hundreds of dollars. So let's
right.
just be realistic here. But I'm getting more space out of it. Um, I think we're past the point where every company that's in this field is going to have people that are experienced, that are connected to the garden and farming world. I think that's a fallacy. And I don't know, I think it's been a fallacy for a long time. There are companies that, especially there are smaller companies that absolutely, everyone that's associated with it, you're interacting with, that's writing things, that's developing things, like they're connected to what we do,
Yeah.
right? And so there's a level of genuineness about what they actually put out. But that's just like any other kind of product and company, you know. think about the advertisements you see for, your favorite soda.
Yeah.
Do you think that athlete's really drinking that soda? So I mean, there's always some question mark around something that's advertisement. I think young Ben, if I could speak for you for a second, what
Please.
I got from you, and I think a part of your point is this article is positioned as if it's going to help you as a gardener. Hey, we're going to help you find out what's productive. We're going to give you information that, we believe is important for your success in your garden. Um, but I don't feel like they did a good job at that.
No.
And very likely because the idea is let me draw you in so you can pay $200 for the 3x2, you know,
If you worked for me
but
and
bed.
you built a website and you put that article up there, and you have to remember this is Backyard Gardens podcast.
Hmm.
You know about
Hmm.
Sandy Bottom Homestead, Be Better
Hmm.
Garden.
Hmm.
I am not over Be Better Garden at all. That is totally Batavia's. But as far as like Backyard Gardens podcast and Sandy
I'm
Bottom
over Sandy
Homestead,
Bottom Homestead. Y'all just don't know it yet.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are our individual endeavors. Yeah.
But if somebody wrote something like that for me, I'd fire their ass because I'd be like, you have no idea what you're doing here. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't helped anybody at all. And I get the whole gist of like, hey, leave a little bit on the table so people can come back and get more, but at the
You
same
know,
time,
to be very fair, so I'd put you on a PIP, performance improvement plan, to start with. To be fair, we go through when we're developing episodes and kind of the approach we're going to take to a subject. We go through the iterations as we're prepping for this, and sometimes just before a show to say, like, the underlying theme is that we need to be genuine,
yeah,
right? We know that attractive titles are what makes a lot of people select an article, select a video, select a podcast episode. But the only time we ever go off script is when one of us can't help herself
yeah,
and they start talking about something else. It's not like it's never that clickbaity, get you here and change the game, And my mom likes to yell false advertisement
yeah,
for everything. It's never that.